Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream today. Today is April 24th, 2019. My name is Nick Larson, and today is a day I am not going to forget. I just finished my last final for all of my graduate school. I am done. I am certain that I passed because I've already gotten enough credit to get a passing grade, and now I'm trying to relax. I literally just finished the final like 20 minutes ago. But that's what I'm at right now. And big news. I got in the mail today the raffle that I won from Robert Tables, so I'm super excited to open that out and open that up and check out these cards and see what we got. I'm super pumped about this. First time I won a raffle in a long time. Let's see. Got a bunch of card protectors. Like a bunch of card protectors, probably way more than I need. There is some sort of paper taped in here, which I'm just going to guess doesn't really matter. There is a label made with my name on it. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. That's kind of cool. Now let's check out the cards. All right. Here we go. How do I get these open? Seriously. Do what I tell my kids not to. Just use my teeth. Let's see here. There we go. All right, let's see who we got. Which I think we got everybody because I think that's how they work. We got Ali Spatel. Ali is a software engineer at D-E-V, the what you call it. You know, Dev.2. That's cool. Before that, she was a lead instructor at General Assembly. Oh, I wonder which one. Probably New York, I guess. That's cool. She loves Python, JavaScript, and talking about code. She is most interested in the intersection of code, art, and social justice. When Allie's not working, you can find her watching New England sports. Ooh. Everything was going good until that point. Competing on Code Wars, taking turns around Capitol Hill, rock climbing, or participating in DC coding community events. Allie also blogs. Oh, I guess that answers that question. Allie also blogs at dev.to/acepatel, where she talks about code and her life surrounding it. That's awesome. Alyssa Nicole. You want to see? Alyssa is an Angular developer advocate and Google developer expert. Her 2 degrees in web design. Oh, wait, you know, I don't need my headphones on. Can't hear if anything's going on. There we go. Her 2 degrees in web design and development and psychology feed her speaking career. She has spoken at over 30 conferences internationally. Alyssa is a weekly panelist on Adventures in Angular and Angular Air, which have a combined following over 16,000 listeners. That's awesome. She enjoys gaming, scuba diving, and furry wiener dog named Beef. That's a good name for a wiener dog. We have a wiener dog. Her name is Maddie. We got Angel Banks. Angel Banks. Oh, look at that. That was so weird. Uh-oh. I screwed it up. There we go. Angel Banks. Angel has a background in front-end development and currently specializes in product management and design strategy for enterprise, finance, healthcare, and biotech applications. Active in the Atlanta tech community, she is a director of Women Who Code Atlanta, Women Tech Makers Atlanta, GDG, what is that, Girl Develop... Nope, that would be GDI. GDG Atlanta organizer, I don't know what that is, and is a conference organizer for Refactor, without the O, .tech and DevFest Atlanta. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever met Angel. I used to live in Atlanta and I tried to frequent a few of the things around there, but I'm not sure I ever met her. There was one. No, don't remember it. Okay. I'm gonna destroy this name. Anjana Vakil? Vakil? There we go. Software developer. Anjana, I'm going to say Anjana, suffers from debilitating case of curiosity, which led her from philosophy to English teaching to computational linguistics to software development. That is quite the approach to getting there. A Mozilla Tech speaker and alumna of the Recurse Center and Outreachy, she can often be found coding in San Francisco. That is, when she's not speaking at events around the world to share the joy of programming and promote a more diverse and inclusive tech industry. Talk to her about programming paradigms, language design, and linguistics. That's cool. Oh man, I'm definitely not going to get this one right. Asagul Yone? I'm not entirely sure. Asagul Yone, that's what I'm going with here. Software engineer. Asagul is a software engineer who focuses on data visualization and mixed reality. That sounds awesome. She is a Google developer expert for web technologies, and Angular is an active conference speaker. She enjoys teaching at a variety of nonprofit organizations aiming to increase diversity in the software industry. She's the co-founder of Code for Good, an organization with the goal of helping people contribute to open source. That's awesome. I have to go and follow all of these people. There's going to be like 30 of these, but we're going to go through them, so they deserve it. Beth Lang, software developer. Beth Lang. If I'm mispronouncing any of these, feel free to correct me. Beth grew up in online journalism, working with newspaper companies before taking a detour to work for an internet startup, Infonautics. After leaving the world of newspapers, she transitioned into software development with the help of a coding boot camp. As one of the directors of Women Who Code Atlanta, Beth works to create great programming and build community for the amazing women in technology of Atlanta. Beth was a software developer at CNN Turner, and in March 2019 joined CallRail as an engineering manager. Wow, so these cards are super new because it's only April 2019. That's awesome. I had no idea. Diana Rodriguez, Chief DevOps Architect. Diana Rodriguez is a full-stack developer, DevOps, and Google developer expert with 18 years experience and a strong background in back-end and infrastructure. Diana likes to bring together best of both worlds, spreading DevOps culture. She's super enthusiastic about everything to encourage people to start a career in development and a fan of female devs and DevOps. In her spare time, she likes to play video games, also a huge fan of sports. Diana is a rugby player and Taekwondo black belt. That's awesome. Diana Rodriguez. That's cool. I should be putting these in these protectors. For a second there, I thought he had given us way too many protectors, and now I know that's not true. Because there's a lot of awesome women in tech. Let's keep putting these in here. Oops. How's everybody doing today? Oh. How do you open? There we go. All right, next one. Divya Sasidharan. I know I butchered that one and I really apologize. Divya Sasidharan. Developer advocate. Divya is a developer advocate and Netlify where she champions the Jam stack and works on making front-end developers more powerful to optimize the developer experience. You will most likely find her in the sunniest spot in the room with a cup of tea and perhaps a book in hand. That's cool. Emma Wedekind? Right there. UX engineer. Emma is a software engineer turned UX engineer. She worked for 3 years as a software engineer at IBM in Austin, Texas. Currently, Emma works at in Karlsruhe, Germany, building and teaching design systems. In her free time, Emma enjoys blogging, reading books, and traveling. She's also building Coding Coach and creating courses on egghead.io. And funny enough, I just signed up for Coding Coach this morning. Let's go take a check. Take a look at that. codingcoach.io.com. No. Coding Coach. Oh, without the dash. All right, Coding Coach. And then I signed up for this today. I have no idea if they actually got me in there. Let's just zoom all the way to the bottom where I would imagine I got added. Nope, doesn't appear to have built yet. Oops. Hey, there I am, Nick Larson. All right, this is awesome. Yeah, so self-taught and then formally trained, strong fundamentals, and loves mentoring. Algorithms, AI, performance, web interviews. Yeah, this is it. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm just going to start sending people here. Get a hold of me through this. Especially if you're looking for some sort of mentoring or anything like that. I'm totally happy to help. You can click this link, send me an email directly. I'm also really easy to reach on Twitter. And if you want to read some of my material that I've written, especially around interviewing and whatnot, here is a link to my blog. I don't write a whole lot, but I feel like I write stuff that's valuable. All right, let's keep going. Jen Looper. Right there. Jen Looper is a Google developer advocate. Jen Looper is a Google developer expert and a senior developer advocate with over 18 years experience as a web and mobile developer, specializing in creating cross-platform mobile apps. She's a multilingual and multiculturalist with a passion for hardware hacking, mobile apps, Vue.js, machine learning, and discovering new things every day. She is the founder and CEO of Vue Vixens, an initiative promoting diversity in the Vue.js community. That's awesome. Let's go with Joe Franchetti. Joe Franchetti, developer advocate. Joe is a web developer advocate for Samsung Internet who is passionate about WebVR, PWAs, which I have no idea what that is, and beautiful CSS. She is a front-end developer who has worked in various parts of the tech industry, from startups, agencies, and charities to large organizations. Joe is also a mentor and organizer at codebar.io, where she is able to action her passion for teaching good use of the web and for improving the diversity and inclusivity of the tech industry. That's awesome. Next, Kara Erickson. Kara Erickson. Software engineer. Kara is the tech lead for Angular framework team at Google. These days, she spends most of her time working on the next generation of Angular rendering engine, Project Ivy. Prior to Google, she helped build UI components in Angular at OpenTable. She enjoys snacking indiscriminately and reading fantasy books, among other things. That's awesome. Natalia Tepluhina. Natalia Tepluhina. Senior front-end developer. Natalia Tepluhina is a front-end developer and a big fan of Vue.js framework and a contributor to the Vue ecosystem. She works as a senior front-end engineer at GitLab. Natalia is a constant learner, and loves to share knowledge with other people. She is a conference speaker and author of articles on different topics related to Vue.js. Thanks to these activities, she is a Google developer expert in web technologies. Natalia is also CTO of Vue Vixens, the initiative that creates and hosts workshops to teach Vue.js to women in a cool and fun way. This is fun. All right. Nitya Narasimhan. Nitya Narasimhan. Developer advocate. Nitya is a PhD and polyglot with 20 years of software research and development across industry, startups, and academia. She is a well-respected tech speaker, conference and community organizer, passionate about helping others translate technology awareness into actionable impact on product and professional growth. All right, there's only 6 left here. Sarah Vieira? Sarah Vieira. Sarah is a developer. Sarah is a developer at CodeSandbox.io. She's a big GraphQL and open source enthusiast. She is also a well-known conference speaker and describes herself as an airport expert. She is also a drummer and is into horror movies. That's cool. Next up, Sarah Drasner. Principal Developer Advocate. Sarah Drasner is an award-winning speaker, lead of emerging markets for cloud advocates at Microsoft, and staff writer at CSS Tricks. Sarah is also the co-founder of Web Animation Workshops with Val Head and is a member of the Vue core team. Sarah is also the author of the SVG Animations book from O'Reilly and was formerly manager of UX and engineering at Trulia, which is Zillow. That's cool. Simona Cotton. Simona Cotton. Developer advocate. Simona Cotton is a web developer with a passion for teaching. She spends most of her time tinkering with JavaScript in the cloud and sharing her experience with other developers at community events. As a cloud developer advocate, Simona engages with the web community to help create a great developer experience with Azure. She loves shipping code to production and has built network data analytics platforms using Angular, TypeScript, React, and Node.js. That's cool. All right. Stanimira Vleva? Stanimira Vleva. Software engineer. Stanimira is a software engineer at Progress and is a native script core team member. She loves everything about Angular and is Webpack's most passionate supporter on the native script team. Her superpowers include debugging errors late into the night and obsessing over old movies and gigs. That's cool. Suze Hinton. Suze Hinton. Many of you here on Twitch probably know Suze. Suze is actually one of the first people I had ever seen write code in front of a camera before, like for streaming purposes. and was a good bit of an inspiration to me. So, developer advocate. Suze specializes in IoT, cloud computing, and web accessibility. She maintains many open source JavaScript hardware related libraries, some of which you might have used if you've tinkered with an Arduino board before. Suze likes dreaming up fun electronic projects in her spare time and bringing them to life. That's awesome. All right. Tara Z. Manixick. Manixick. Developer advocate. Tara is a lifelong student, teacher, and maker. She has spent her career using JavaScript on both the back end and front end to create applications. A developer advocate for progress, Google developer expert, and international technical speaker, she focuses on conveying the code base she has learned. In her free time, she works in her community to educate and learn from other developers. Tara launched the Cincinnati chapter of Women Who Code in the Cincinnati branch of Node School. Beyond code, Tara still makes things, but with solder, clay, or wool, and hikes any mountain she can get to with her love. She can get to with her loves, Matthew, Nico, and Tosh Magosh. And that's it. Those are the cards. That was awesome. Quite a few of them here. Thank you, Robert Tables, for that raffle. That was a lot of fun. I look forward to keeping these around. Let's see what's going on today. All right, so we already talked about I'm graduating. Hooray. We just did the cards that I won in the raffle. Let's get the show on the road. All right, shrink this. We are still working on this JavaScript game that I am trying to build. Hey, what's up, Mike Jolly? How's everything going, man? All right, let's get this up. I did. I just read through them, actually. I read the text of every single one of them. When I pulled them out of the case, I was like, man, there are way too many packages, like way too many of the sleeves in here. And yeah, mine literally showed up like 30 seconds before I sat down to do this. My wife knocked on the door and was like, hey, this just showed up for you. Do you know what it is? I was like, yes, I do. I've been waiting for that. They're cool. Had to figure out a place to put them. Yeah, he did. Well, he put the sleeves in the package, and then because the things come wrapped up, the cards themselves come wrapped up, so he put the sleeves in the package. And then as I was going through them, I was like, wow, there's way too many sleeves in here. Maybe he was just like grabbing a handful, and no, it turns out he counted them out. There's the exact right amount. So there's just a lot of cards, which is cool. Yeah. How's your stream going, man? How far did you get in the theming thing? Help us improve our support for JavaScript. Sure. I shall help you improve your support for JavaScript. This is where you want me to go. How likely is it that you would recommend Visual Studio Code for JavaScript development to a friend or colleague? Yeah. How do you use VS Code for JavaScript development? I use it as my primary. I use it occasionally as a companion. I don't write a lot of JavaScript. When I do write JavaScript, I would say it is my primary, definitely not my only. Worked on it after the stream and got it connected to Twitch chat and calling our theme command. Now we need to actually change it based on the provided parameter. Theme Dracula. That's cool. So this is actually kind of a real question. How do you feel about working on projects that you work on stream, off stream? Like, do you find value in that, or do you find yourself like wasting time talking about all the stuff that you did off stream instead of actually doing the work on stream? I know when I was working on this game, there were two things that I did off stream, but I I did them on branches and I threw them away. And when I came back to it, I then did that work on stream as part of this. So I was like, it would be really weird if the next time people sit down, like the code's totally different, no one's going to be able to follow along. That was just my concern. How long have you been developing in JavaScript? I've used it for more than 2 years. What do you use VS Code JavaScript primarily for? Web front ends, general purpose scripts? Yep, web front ends. Do you have any experience with TypeScript? Yes, tried it, don't use it. What is one thing we can do to improve your JavaScript development experience in VS Code? I want to complain about autocomplete. I tried not to do it off stream, but I'm usually so excited about what we're doing. I can't wait. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. It's just a hobby, right? I'm guessing that coding is your hobby as well as your profession. Yeah. I find myself writing stuff all the time, just like, you know, busting out the laptop and just like grinding out a thing here or there, or taking something on vacation. And if I'm not the one driving, like, you got plenty of time when you're on a 4-hour trip to, you know, try out a few things, a few ideas. I try not to work on big things when I do that, though. I think one thing I try to do off stream is figure out hard things. Like, we're struggling with something on stream, I'll stop banging on it after a while and work on it off stream so people don't spend an hour or two watching me bang my head on something. See, I feel like that's one of the parts of like streaming that has been the most valuable for me, is that banging my head. Like, as a fairly well seasoned professional developer, I feel like one of my biggest strengths is not getting stuck. Or if I do get stuck, always having some new direction to keep moving. And that is one of the things that I notice the most in at least younger developers, or less experienced developers, I should say, is that like the debugging process is like, I'm stuck, I'm gonna Google it. Not like considering the code, you know, what have we tried, what have we ruled out, how can we rule out this, how can we approach this other thing, and like really breaking down the steps of everything that's there to sort of narrow down the location of the problem. Like, most people, I've seen so many people who are just like, I'm gonna just rewrite this entire function. And it's like, there's not a lot of value there. Especially if you don't know exactly what that function is supposed to be doing. Perhaps I should just keep going and see. Yeah, not only that, like on more than one occasion, people in the stream have like dropped a line in chat that's been like, oh, I didn't even think of that. You know, and then like now you've got something where it's interactive. And one day even a person like jumped on a VS Code session, like a share, what is it called? A live share session with me, and just like got in there and started grinding away. And like we made all this progress in like 3 hours that I would never have been able to make by myself. It was so much fun. You can't cheer me yet, man. You got to wait till Friday. I'll get my developer advocate. I'll get my advocate on Friday. I went out of town and my 7-day thing dropped off. But I do appreciate the cheer. Yeah, it's all right. Part of the game. Clark really helped me out last week. He dropped like 30 people on me. Actually, you were there, I think. And that got my like viewership hours like way past anywhere it had ever been before, and I'm like super thankful for that, because that was the one I was struggling with the most. All right, let me finish this questionnaire real fast. One thing we can improve. It's not clear how to get autocomplete for specific JS libraries, or what you would expect to be there in a browser. Next. Oh man, there's a next. There's not like a submit. What is stopping you from trying TypeScript? That's such a hard question. What is stopping you from trying TypeScript? Nothing really, other than I'm better at vanilla JS and not a front, and I don't do most of my work in JavaScript. All right, there we go. I wish there was a like timer that was like, yeah, you got 9 more questions to answer, because I might just hit the done. Oh no, here's a done button. All right. May we contact you in case we have additional questions? Sure. Nick Larson at stackoverflow.com. You can hit me on my work. Great. I am done with your survey. Let's go write some code. Okay. Make a sound when you try to interact with a locked door. Prevent you from reaching that cell. All right, this second one is like the big one that I want to tackle today. I don't have an incredible amount of time. We're only going to have about an hour and 15 minutes to work on this. The reason I want to do this is because I want to put like a desk in there, and I want to put like file cabinets in there and stuff where you have to like interact with the thing in order to be able to do something, you know, to collect the thing from it, if there is in fact a thing in it. And then if we get done with all of this, let me go ahead and just add a new list here. 2019-04-24. Make a sound when you try to interact with a locked door. There we go. And then prevent you from reaching a cell with a locked door. All right, and so the idea here is, instead of getting to the edge of the map and then deciding whether we can go through the edge of the map because it's the edge of the map, instead what we want to do is for each cell, we want to say which walls are around it. And if you're in that cell and you try to walk through a wall, or if you're trying to enter a cell and walk through a wall, both of those things will fail. So if you're in a cell and you try to leave it, in the direction you try to leave it, we have to ensure that you can go that direction. In the cell that you're trying to enter, we have to make sure that that cell is not blocked on that side. And these work differently. When you try to leave a cell, we're not going to try to interact with it. If you try to enter a cell which has a wall, we are then going to fire off like an interaction function that allows you to do things there. This is like if you were to bump into a door, it would unlock the door if you have a key, or something like this. And that's sort of the direction I want to take this. And that is most of what I want to accomplish today. I have no idea if we're actually going to be able to do this. But one thing that I do know for sure is we need to get this fired up so we can start playing with it. Localhost 8000 index debug. Play. Hey, this is the other thing. I didn't make it so that the conversation pauses this. That's another thing we should put on here. Conversation pauses player control. That's another thing we want to take care of. I also don't want it to be so that it highlights if you're like double clicking through it. Yeah. See, you can just sort of enter the door right now. And that's not good. I want it to be like, no, you can't enter the door. And it makes like a noise when you try to enter it. And then, sort of tells you, sort of gives you some feedback that like you can't go there because there's a door there. Something like that. All right, so what I want to do is Oh, another idea that I had from a visual aspect. Visually change the CSS to show allowed paths. And the idea here is right now we have it as individual cells with like blocks between them. Instead, what I want you to do is like be on an intersection. I want to show a dot in the background on the middle of each of these, and then connecting lines in any direction that you should be able to go. And those lines should additionally respect the walls. So for instance, if you're right here, then the lines should go up, right, and down, but they should not go left because you can't walk through that wall. And if there was some like, thing in here and you couldn't interact with it, then I wouldn't want to show a line going in that direction. So the floor should give you an idea about planning instead of it just being like cell, 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 cell. And then we can have actual walls show up as walls instead of every cell, no indication here. So that is a lot of stuff to accomplish. Let's go ahead and see what we can get through. The first thing that we're going to want to do is change the way that we handle the walls. Okay. So we're creating all of these cells. And right now we're using this magic to determine if we can actually move by using math.min and math.max. Instead, what we want to do is we basically want to say like a can move function and then have it grab the new cell and the current cell and then check the walls in the direction that we're trying to move. So when we create the cells, we want to create a box. Make cells. Okay. Make cells. Each cell is an object. It says walls. We need walls. Okay. So the walls are I guess we're just going to say for the top is going to be 0. No, we're just going to put them as straight text. Okay. Walls. All right. So what we're going to do is say let walls equal array if row equals 0, walls dot add. And in this case, we're just going to put, so if the row is 0, we have walls on the top. Dot add walls dot push top. Okay. If row equals height minus 1, walls dot push bottom. If call equals 0, walls dot push left. If call equals width minus 1, walls dot push right. Okay, let's try this. And then we're going to have this be walls. like that. Okay. Now, when we render this, we want to render the walls based on... We want to render the walls based on these. So basically, when we render each of these elements, create element, we additionally want to say, let's go like this. That's cool, man. I totally get it. If I say anything crazy, do let me know. And for just a moment, I'm going to eat a piece of cheese because I'm starving. You know, that's another thing. I should talk about this, actually. Yeah, I started getting into, like, personal development, like, I don't know, maybe a year ago. One of the biggest things that's helped my life, cheese. No. No, I had a piece of cheese sitting here because I needed to eat something. I had just finished that final, and then I ran upstairs and I was like, I'll eat anything in the fridge. So I grabbed a bunch of ham and a bunch of cheese because I live in Virginia and we have ham and cheese here, and that's what I grabbed. But yeah, I had this like string cheese sitting out. But no, anyway, I got into like personal development, and one of the biggest things that has like made an impact on my life is blocking off time. I used to all the time feel like I was getting tired, and I would just keep grinding through it, and I thought it was like a bad thing to like stop and take a break. And I would just keep going and grinding and grinding and grinding. And like, you get to the point where it's like, you just look at the screen and you're just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I know I wrote all of this. I have no idea. And I wrote this 30 minutes ago. And it just gets so bad. And like, if you literally just like stand up and like go take a walk, go eat a piece of cheese, go to the restroom, do anything, it's like a complete reset. You sit down and all of a sudden you can start grinding away again. And I practiced this by, at some point I started recording how long it had been since I started working when I felt that way. And getting to the point of like just being aware that that's happening was a big improvement. And what I found was I have about 75 minutes of attention. And after that, things go downhill real fast. Something that should take me 2 hours, if I work on it for 75 minutes, you know, an hour and 15 minutes, and then I take a 5-minute break and come back to it, I'll finish it in 2 hours. If I try to grind through, this is going to take like 3-4 hours. And it's just because that like being worn down and looking at the thing, and it's like you've got all of this stuff piled up in your short-term memory, and you need to give it an opportunity to like sink in and then empty all of that out so you can get back in there and start filling up again. And yeah, just something I wanted to point out. This is something that sort of came up after I was talking with Clarkio earlier this week, and it was just one of these things where it was like small little things you got to practice can really go a long way. All right. Anyway, took a break, ate some cheese, getting back to it. I want to basically create objects here so I can do a bunch of manipulation. Let the cell equal this. And then I want to say cells.push cell. And then I want to say for each, well, walls dot for each W. This is going to be a string, and I want to say cell dot element dot class list dot add wall plus W. And what this will do is add classes for each of the walls, and then all I have to do is go and add styling, and it should draw all of this. And I don't know that this is actually going to work, so I'm just going to try it one time real fast. Hey, guess what? It actually showed up. Now let's see if we got all of our things in there. Let's get rid of the console. Alright, wall left, wall top, wall right, wall left, wall top, 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 top. Alright, now what I want to do is go in and actually make it draw these using CSS. So we want to go back to the cells. We want to say dot cell. No, basically what we want to say is dot wall left is border left width border left width, and maybe I don't want to specify the width. I basically just want to turn it on. I'm just going to put a 1 in there, 1px. And then basically for cell, we're going to have border. We already have this, and what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 0px. So this will set all 4 of the borders to solid orange, but it's going to give them a size of 0. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically just change the size. So if I want to change the color for all of them, I can change them in just one place. I think that's going to work. Cell.wall left. But I think wall left is going to be okay. No, I want dot cell. The reason I want dot cell here for my walls is that, like, for instance, what do you call it? Like if I have like a filing cabinet, I don't want to draw a border around the filing cabinet. I just want it to be a filing cabinet. So I'm not going to do it super generic. And then I'm going to say right. And then I'm going to say top, and bottom. Perfect. Let's see if that worked. Hey, alright, see, now we have a border just around the whole thing. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to actually get these... Okay, this is going to be harder because I don't actually know how to do this. I want to, using CSS, draw an X directly centered in the background of each cell, and then hopefully a little dot as well. I think the way that we're going to do this is we're going to do something like a CSS gradient. Let's do a CSS gradient. CSS gradient. Here's a fancy website. Look at that. Alright, we already have a CSS gradient. Let's see if we can just copy it. Control CSS. Nope. Gradient. Here it is. Repeating linear gradient. This is what I want. Repeating linear gradient. Repeating linear gradient. Background, linear gradient. Repeating radial, linear gradient CSS. CSS gradient text. I don't want those. Examples, blog, resources, linear gradients. Radial gradient. How to create, nope, okay. Really thought this was going to be a lot easier. What's the menu? Backgrounds. Um, CSS repeating linear gradient. Hey, there we go. Repeating linear gradient. I have no idea which one of these is actually creating this. Repeating linear gradient. Oh, there we go. Can I try this? Open in CodePen. Okay. All right. Making progress. Okay, let's see here. Degree 90. Degree 90. 90? Do you have to do something to make that update? Change view? Nope, that's what I wanted. Save. Nope, don't want that. That didn't work. 90? Repeating linear gradient. Background image, background image. Save? Oh, wait, no, it did change this time. What happened there? What is this one doing? Oh, this is transparent. What? Hold on. Let's just do like a really light gray. Let's go pound AAA. What the crap? It looks like maybe it's replacing this. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, okay. 90. All right. We want AAA to AAA. We want this to be 2 pixels. Oh my. Black. Okay, there we go. All right, all right, all right, all right. How wide are my boxes? I think they're 50 pixels. I must be super zoomed in on this, huh? Okay, that looks better. All right, I do want to actually be zoomed in. And then let's do 1 pixel. It's not clear to me what these are doing. What happens if I get rid of that? Oh. Oh, I see. These are stops. Okay, so we start with this gray. 1 pixel from now, I also want it to be gray. The very next pixel, I want it to be black. So I should actually be able to go like this. 2. Okay, so that's a short transition. So I'm going to say 1 pixel from now, I want it to be black, and then I want 50 black. So this probably needs to actually be more like 48. Also, how do I shift it? Okay. All right, that is... Can I just hide this? Let's do another one of these. Also, why is this like... Did I delete? What is going on? That maybe? Sure. Let's try adding a second one. Can I add a second one? Only this one I want to do 0 degrees. 0? 1. Okay. Let's just search for exactly what it is that I'm trying to do. CSS background gradient cross. Cross? Cross. I don't want cross browser. Is there a name for the pattern? Grid. Let's go grid. Gradient grid. How to make a grid. Background image. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's super easy. Okay, so what we're doing is we set it to black. Instead, what we want to do is set it to transparent. Transparent. Aha! And transparent. Okay, and then instead of doing my 1 degree here, we just do 0 degrees. Aha! Yes! Okay, this is great. This is great. Now the only thing I need to do is figure out how to offset it. Background position. Background position. And this is probably like 25px, 25px. Oh, it only did it to the first one. Weird. Weird. How did I do it for the other one? Background position. I did. That's how I did it. Okay, we're going to try this. What the hell is VW? View width? View height? That's kind of cool. Alright, let's try this. And see if we can get a grid going back here on the cells. So each of the cells should have a background image that is a repeating linear gradient twice. This time it should not be black, it should be transparent, and it should be transparent. $50px. This is probably more like 48px, honestly. 48. 48. And that would put the background position. Let's see. I have no idea if this is going to work. We're just going to kind of play around with it until it does. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I feel like it kind of worked. For some reason, it's got like double lines, though. Do you see that? That's kind of weird, right? Why is it doing that? I also want these to be transparent. Like, I want them to be super, super light. What if we just do white? And let's go RGBA. And let's set it to 255, 255, 255, and like 0.1. Oh, that's perfect. What is going on? Transparent. go background color. Green? Seriously, what is up with these double lines? What is causing that? You have a starting point 1 pixel away. What if we do... What if instead of repeating linear gradient, we just do a linear gradient? What could possibly be causing the double lines? The double lines. Is it just like a quirk? No, that's an actual double line. Somehow I'm getting double lines. It's not clear to me. But I did like the idea of changing this to RGBA. So let's at least do that. And maybe let's put each stop on its own line. I am not sure. 48 pixels? Maybe it's this repeating part that's causing the problem. Right, each one of these cells doesn't need to be repeating. Like maybe what's happening is I've only made it the width of this section 48, so it's drawing one right at the beginning, and then when it loops back around it draws another one. Maybe? Hey, alright. Whoa. Turns out that the move counter moves every time you press any button, not just when you move. That's a bug. To do. Move counter always increments when key is pressed. Okay. Alright, so now there's like a grid showing you where you can walk. But I want to get fancy. Of course, we got to get fancy. And I want to make it so that it only shows where you can walk. So if you try to walk into a wall, the answer will be no. Like there just won't even be a line there. And then I want to put like a wall in here and show that the grid will automatically adjust. Will that work? I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Let's give it a shot. Okay. So you move. The grid shows you where you can move. Alright, let's make the grid a little bit... Let's go ahead and save this. Let's make the grid a little bit brighter. Just a little bit. Two. Refresh. Play. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now you can actually see the thing. Okay, now let's... It's also not clear which one is you. Not clear who the player is on the first screen. I think that'll get fixed over time as we like implement the lights and the flashlight, but for now I'm just going to put it on there so I don't forget about it. Okay. Now the crazy CSS. When there is a wall left, when there is a wall left, what do we want to do? I think the only thing we need to do is how can we do this? We could have 4 gradients that each handle one part of it and then disable them. Maybe when we go over it. Let's see. Can I make a linear gradient? Can I add a cover? I would like to add a cover. I don't know. Can I make a linear gradient that's... No, I can't. The only thing that I can do is offset that. I want to cover it. How would I cover it? Background gradient T-shape? I guess let's look that up. Okay. That was good. I need to actually log in. Copy. Put this over here. Load it up. Thank you for the help. Okay. Background CSS background gradient T-shape. Radial gradient? I don't know, let's try that. No, that's not what I want. Certain that's not what I want. What about if we have a linear gradient? How can we cut off a linear gradient? We can have another gradient that sits on top of it. We can have another gradient. Oh! No. Maybe the easiest way to do this... I can't make graphics. I gotta create graphics using CSS. This has to get compressed. How are we gonna do this? What if we rendered backgrounds What if we rendered backgrounds? Okay. New idea. We do a horizontal gradient and a vertical. It's transparent. No. How about CSS background gradient grid? I really feel like this is going to return something positive. How to make a grid like graph paper using just CSS. Gradient patterns. Aha! Wow, look at that one. That one's awesome. Linear gradient. Checkerboard. Oh, look at this. What a weave. How on earth did you do this herringbone pattern? That's insane. One 135 degrees. What happens if we like comment one of these out? Oh. Oh, you can set a background size. So you're saying 225 degrees. And then you're saying for 21 pixels, do this super light color. Now this has got to be the dark color, right? What? Red. Blue. What? Yellow. Um, Purple. Green. What is this 064? 120? 12. What's changing? Oh, the offset. So you can do an offset for each one of these. Right, like I could do like 20 px, and then I can change this to like 50. I could do like 120. Okay, all right, all right, all right. So you have pink? No, cyan. All right, the background size determines the box. You can add in the space. All right. All right, so if we want let's do linear gradient 0 degrees, black, 1 pixel, transparent, 1 pixel, aha. Okay. The offset here is now going to be 0. And whatever this used to be, which was 64. Okay. So that background is not, so maybe we gotta go 0, 0. That did not appear. Whoa, that's not what I wanted at all. PX, PX. Let's do 30. 100. Okay, so this is being overridden by the last one. So this is background position. I really wish that the up and down arrow didn't do that. So this is background position. Yes. Background position 064 px. Yes. Okay. So I want to do background. Nope. Go back and put that back. Background dash image. Oh, that didn't work. Why is that not working? Oh, because I have a location. Okay. So I can now put the line at the top. And what I want to do is push let's go look up linear gradient. CSS linear gradient. What am I looking for? CSS, multiple background images, different positions. Multiple background images positioning. Your problem is that the repeat Y. Alright. I've got 3 background images, a top image, a middle image, a bottom image. The problem is that the repeat Y is going to fill the whole height no matter where you position it initially, thus it overlaps your top and bottom. One solution is to push the repeating background into a pseudo element positioned off the container. This also works. Background clip. That's interesting. What is background clip? Background clip. Oh. Border box, padding box, content box. Okay. Okay. I still don't know how to make it stop. I still don't know how to make it stop. I have that. Let's add in another one that... Alright, background size 64, 64. Let's get rid of this one altogether. Uh-oh. Linear gradient. 90 degrees. Okay. Background position. I already have a background position. Let's go 32 px, 32 px. Okay. So I can't stop it. What if I did this is 0 degrees, so coming down I want to do 0 degrees. I want to do I'm not entirely sure how to do this. I would like to do it with only CSS. I'm not sure it's gonna be possible. Can I do it? How would I do it? I make it so that there are 4 backgrounds. And we add 1. Four backgrounds? Can you even do that? Like, here's a question. If I do linear gradient, if I do it like this, and then I do, this one will just override it. Yeah, that one will just override it. Background size. Background repeat. No repeat. Ooh. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Okay. Background position. It starts at the bottom and it goes up, so I think... Hey, what's up, CM Chris Jones? CMJ. Finally get a catch. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm trying to... I'm not sure if you're familiar with what I'm working on right now at all. Basically, there's this competition called JS13K games. It takes place every August, and you basically have 30 days to build a game from scratch based on a theme. We're doing a little practice run right now to just sort of get used to the concept and just get comfortable with the rules and whatnot. And so the game that we've come up with is you're this thing in the middle here, and you walk around and you have to collect these different items. And once you get all the items that you need, you can exit.
Heroic, you win sound. Yay!
Oh, and as you put that, your Twitch froze. Well, sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, so the plan here is just to make it so that, you know, we get a little practice. What we're working on right now is we've added in the CSS for these walls, and the grid right here shows you all of the locations that you can move. You'll notice that every time you move to a new intersection. And what I want to do is I want to make it so that these walls right here, where you can't go that direction, the grid doesn't show that you can go that direction, so that it's very clear from where the grid lines are that you can move in that direction or not. Basically, this little bit right here I want to get rid of, this little bit, because you can't hit the wall. These ones that go into the door would stay there, though, because you should be able to enter the door. And that's sort of what we're working on. It's just turning out to be quite a challenge, let me tell you. I think if we go repeat, no repeat, no repeat, that will help. I don't think we want... No, we do want to do... We want to say... background size. Oh, wait, I can do this. I know how to do this. Okay. Okay, I feel like I've got this now. All right, so 50px, 50px. So they all want to be 50px. By 50px, the background position we want to offset. Okay, I feel like all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Now what we want to do is basically rotate this around. So instead of that, we want to try 180 degrees. Okay, now we're making progress. I have two of the lines that I would like, and now I would like more lines. That is ideally what we would like. Okay, so all we need to do is add in more of these. All right, I'm starting to feel pretty good about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in two more. Ah. And then we want to change this to be 270 degrees. And I do think we want one at 0 degrees. And then the position. The position is going to be different for each one of these. We're going to have 25, 25, and we also need to no repeat. We want to no repeat all of them. We want the background size to be the same on all of them. And we want the background position to be different for each of them. We want the first one to be 25, 25, 25, px, 25, px. And then what we want, I think, is 0, 0, and 0, 0. I think that's it. Oh, it's close. We're getting closer. Okay, let's just move these one at a time until we get to the right answer. Inspect. Okay. Now, what I want to do is get rid of this so that I can zoom this up. Okay, now what I want to do is move these one at a time. Oi, that's ugly. That is super ugly. How do I pop this out? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now what I want is basically each one of these linear gradients on its own line, if I can manage that. Okay. So the first one, you know what? Let's just do these one at a time. Let's delete this one. Or actually, let's make them different colors. That's how we'll do it. Come on now. You won't zoom for me? Okay. We're going to put you back in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be red. And then we're going to change this one to be blue. Red, green, blue. And then we're going to see... Oh, that is awful. Can I zoom in? Yeah, you need to disappear, please. All right, the blue is the vertical ones. The blue is the vertical one. Oh, I don't want 0, 0. I want minus 25, minus 25. Yes, that is what I want. Okay, go back to my regular zoom. Okay, this is gonna look insane, but now we can do this. Now we can just copy and paste these again. What is going on? That's crazy. Sure, whatever, do it like that. Okay. And then if we refresh this, oh, they're a little bit off. 24? I feel like maybe 20, 26? 26, 26, 26. That didn't help. 24. There we go. There we go. There we go. And then what we want is to now make it so that when you have the top one, we can say basically okay. Background. Position. So this is the top, all right? Which one of these is the line going out of the top? That's not clear to me. That's not clear to me. Background position. Inherit. 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 All right, so the idea here is that we will set one of these to basically make the thing disappear. Okay. And now, if we go and look at this cell, for instance, and we say, wait, background position inherit. What's this complaining about? Okay, let's go take a look at that. Background position inherit. Oh. Well, that's lame. Um, I was hoping that I would be able to. No, there we go. Background position inherit. Okay, so now I'm more than a little confused. So now I'm more than a little confused. Why is this complaining? Invalid property value. I don't think that's invalid. Let's see which one of these is the top. Okay. Let's see. Let's do like 93. 9 degrees. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. So this is the bottom one. The right one. Okay. Bottom right, top left. Bottom right, top left. So if I want to get rid of the left, bottom right, top left, then I would make this, 1,000 px, 1,000 px. That didn't seem to work at all. You can only specify what if I just copy all of these like this, and then I make this 240. That worked. The only problem is inherit didn't work, but specifying them all again did work. Okay, let's just try it again. Okay. Right. What did I say? This was the bottom right. 250. Bottom right. Top. Left. Bottom. Okay. It almost gets there. The only problem is whichever one it sets last doesn't get the work. And if I change any one of these values to inherit, it just blows up on me? Is that right? Inherit. Well, I guess it helps if you spell it right. Let's try that. Negative. Did not work. Inherit? Oh, wait, they would all have to be inherit. Okay. So you can specify them all manually. I can't do like every combination of walls though, because there's a lot of them. I guess you only have to do them one time. The other option is just change the opacity. I cannot think of any way to do this without expanding every possible combination. You know, at the end of the day, it's probably not the end of the world to do that, because how many combinations are there? You can have each by themselves, that's 4. You can have all of them, that makes 5. You can have any 2 of them, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you're at 11. And then you can have any combination of 3, and there's 4 of those. So there's 15 combinations. 15 combinations. That seems like a lot of CSS. I do feel like this is a fairly important feature. I do feel like this is a fairly important feature. Do I do this? Do I do this? Yeah. Okay. Probably is the answer. It just seems so bad. Can I add a background image? Is there a way to turn them off manually instead? I can't just have one. I gotta have all of them. I can't have one. I have to have all of them. I don't know. I'm just not that good with CSS. Can I? Can I? I don't even know. Like you can't add. You can't add an additional background. You can only overwrite the background. You can only overwrite the background. It's invalid. Can I make this valid? Invalid property value. How about if we just try a different one? Background position. Initial. Initial? Initial. Let's try that. No. You don't like that either? Inherit. You have to specify them all individually. How do I if I manually expanded all of them, the only thing I would have to do in order to make sure they came out in the right order. What does Fody mean? Juicy Pops. Welcome to the show. Fody is a very large beer. It looks like you probably know it as a 40 ounce. There we go. You know, one of these. 40 ounce rosé. Good lord. Not what I had in mind. I was thinking more like High Life. Images. High Life. There we go. You know, a nice 40. That's what a Fody is. Fody, yeah. This came about when I was in college. I used to really like drinking 40s. It was like the perfect amount of beer. I could drink a 40 and like be totally cool anymore, and like I was gonna have a bad night. And also you could get a 40 for like, yeah, $1.25 back then. They were so cheap. Yeah. There was this place around the corner from where I lived. I went to Georgia State, and I lived downtown, and there were these like apartment buildings that had like 6 bedrooms each, and I don't know, it was maybe 8 or 10 of them next to each other, and they were all painted pink, and they were called the Pink Apartments, and there used to be parties back there all the time. And right around the corner from there was this little bodega, like no gas station, no nothing. You walked in there, all it was a cooler full of 22 ounces full of 40s, and then it was a hot dog stand, and that was the whole thing. And I don't even know if that place is still there, but you used to go in there, and for like $1.25 you could get a hot dog, and so you get 2 of those for $2.50, and then you pay like another like $1.75 to get a 40, and for like less than $5 you could get a meal and enough beer to get you right. And so we started calling them Fodies. And I turned it into my World of Warcraft name. We played World of Warcraft back then, and it just kind of stuck. Nope, there was no beef jerky. They did have individually packaged, like, what would you call them? NyQuil? You could buy like literally a 2-pack of NyQuil. And that was it. It was just hot dogs, beer, and like, it wasn't just NyQuil. There was like, you know, Advil and whatever else. But yeah, it was the weirdest place. I don't even know if that place is still there, but I bet we can find it if we go look on like wait, let me do this off screen here. Let's go look. This is maps.google.com. We want to go for Atlanta. All right. Where was this? This is Georgia Tech. We lived off Northside Drive. Where did we live? Northside Drive. Belmead to 4. There's the Waffle House. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so right here, literally right here are, this is a bunch. Can I just zoom in? How do I get the little guy? Where is it? Is it this one? It's this one. That's it. Okay. They've repainted them. These used to be pink, and in the back of these there is a courtyard. And then over here was the one I lived in the back side, and this window right here was the room to my bedroom. So back there in the back was the thing. And if you came down here and you walk down this street, we're getting close. This is it. Oh my God, it's still here. Look at that. That's it. Ajax liquor store and check cashing. Well, they do check cashing now, but in the back of this was literally just a beer container and a hot dog thing, and then over here on the side is like a yeah, there was just like get whatever medicine you need to go to sleep, basically. And that's all that's in that store. And then this is the actual liquor store over here. God. No, I live in Roanoke now. It's not quite the South. It's like right along the line, I guess. Roanoke, Virginia. God, that's funny. I can't believe that's still there. This building is new. This used to just be a parking lot, and then there was a building back here. Crazy times. Anyway, yeah, that's what Fody means. It just kind of stuck. And now we have this thing at work. Let's see if I can find it. Where we have this tool called PickBot. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Give me a second. I have to do this off screen because it's my chat at work. How the hell do I reply to a message that I wrote? Copy link. Here we go. Reply. Needs more Fodies. There we go. Copy image. Address. Put it over here. Alright. This is me and Sam Brand at the party. At one of the parties. This had to be like 8 years ago at this point. 7 years ago. This is a long time ago. And we went to a bar in Denver, and you could still get 40s in Denver at a bar, which was crazy. So we got one, and I took a picture, and now you can we have this tool where you can slap it on top of whatever picture you want. Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, that's that. So the name sort of stuck. Anyway, today was good. Didn't quite get done everything I wanted to get done, but I feel like we got a lot done. I'm just going to expand it out. I'm just going to do the cheapest thing I can possibly think of. Because I really want this feature as like a how to play this game feature. To sort of help you out. Thanks Mike Jolly. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you got some work done. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, same time. We'll be back at noon tomorrow. I'm going to go a little bit longer, I think, since I only got in about an hour today. And that's it. Thanks for joining. I will see y'all all soon. Juicy Pops. Go ahead and give you a follow here. Or am I already following you? No. Here we go. There you go. Boom. Followed. All right. I will see y'all later. Have a good one, everybody. Bye. Bye, Chris.